Okay, in this video, I'm going to share with you the 3 things you need to establish yourself as a business owner. Hey there, my name is Leslie, and I am known as your favorite nurse yogi. If this is your first time clicking on my pretty face, thank you. Make sure you like this video and subscribe. For context, I am a business owner. I have my own wellness business, Leslie Does Wellness, LLC, where I show women how to put themselves first through yoga. By trade, I am a registered nurse with 12 years of healthcare experience, so I know a thing or two about business, also healthcare. And in order for people, let me rewind actually. You might be like, I need to start a business, but I don't know where to begin. And maybe you already are getting paid for doing services outside of your corporate job, and you're just putting that money like in a savings account, or you're putting that money in your checking account. No, 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 no. You do not do that. You hear me? So this is actually going to be 4 things that you need to start seriously to establish your business. But I want you to know, especially my millennials, if you have 10 or more years of experience in your profession, for me, that's nursing, right? I said I have 12 years at being a registered nurse, y'all. You are a subject matter expert, also known as SME. You know a thing or two, okay? You know a thing or two. You have so much experience. And just a sidebar, I want you to use AI or talk with a friend and think outside of the nursing profession. You have so many what they call transferable skills. Don't just put yourself in the box of nursing, right? So, for example, I had a friend recently. This is where this video is coming up. I'm like, oh my gosh, people, you need to take yourself seriously, right? So the friend that I have, she has been doing her zone of her expertise for at least 10 years now. And she recently got a speaking engagement speaking about what she's really passionate about. And then because of her background in her profession, it was the perfect speaking opportunity. She got paid for it. And I said, hey, you need to put that in your business bank account. She was like, or what I asked her is this, I said, where did you put the money you received? And she's like, oh, I just put it in a savings account. I said, no. I was like, you need to put that in a business bank account. But before you can even put your money in a business bank account, you need to have, oh, this is actually more than 3, 4, this is 5. Before you even open up a business bank account, the first thing you need to do is open up an LLC or open up some kind of business entity. There's S Corp, there's LLC. Those are the 2 off the top of my head. My business is an LLC. This is so important. It is better to do this now, even when you're like, I don't even know. You need to do this now, because if you are giving people advice for free or you've gotten paid, like somebody's like, I need help finding a job. I need help writing my resume. Like even in this world that we're in now where everybody's using AI, people still don't know how to use AI in the proper way. And they will maybe try to use AI and get a good resume, right? And then they use that resume and it gets automatically like they don't even get an interview. Or what I'm getting at is this: you have skills, right? And you deserve to be paid. So if you've gotten paid, you need to open up a business. Just open up a business. Mine has my name in it, and that's a whole nother thing. People are like, should I put my name? La la la. I don't want us to mull over the details, if I'm going to be honest for you. I'm a visionary. I'm also an air sign. So I just be like in the clouds. And I feel like that's why I execute so well, because I'm not in my thinking mind a lot. I'm really in like how I feel, which is a good and a bad thing. Then you need an EIN. So your EIN is like your social security number, but for your business, okay? And you need these 2 things, the LLC and the EIN, to open the business bank account. So now that you have the LLC, for sake of the conversation, and an EIN, you then go to the People's Bank, whichever bank of your choice, and you say, hey, I want to open up a business bank account. And they're going to ask you for those 2 things, LLC, EIN, a form of ID, right? I forget what else, but it's not that many stuff. Like once you have the LLC, the S Corp, whatever it is, and your EIN, you can make a lot of things shake. So now that you have your business bank account established, you can then put said money into that business bank account. This is very important, what I'm about to say, right? taxes. So even if you're like, oh my, I'm so worried when, just establish these things now, because you keep saying, this is like take 3 or 4 of me creating this video, but you keep saying, I want more money, I want more money. But if you don't have the proper foundations in place, shout out to my business strategist, Merlene, how can you expect God to give you? God is not going to give you the money if you do not have clarity, establish. Again, this is my business strategist, Merlene's talk. These are things she talks about and has helped me, right? You have to have structures in place. God is not going to give you the money, the clients, if you are irresponsible. If you are a mother, father, right? And you have children, you're rearing young children right now, you know how it goes. In my house, we are it's a strict program, okay? Because I want my kids to be kind, responsible individuals that take accountability, right? And in order to rear my kids in that way, I have to put structure in place in the home. The kids is not willy-nilly around here. But anyways, I digress. So we talked about the first thing you need once you have the LLC, the EIN, is a business bank account. Then you need to have a way, an invoice system or a CRM. So if you're like, I don't even know where to begin with the invoice system, because I know how it is. Trust me, y'all. I know it is. 5 years later, I finally got like a CRM, which I use Go High Level because of my business strategist's recommendation. But let me rewind. Before you look into that, use Stripe. Go on Stripe, stripe.com, go on Stripe. You make an account, create an account, create an account. And then again, it's going to ask you for your EIN, your business name, those type of things. And once you put that information, also ask for like business address. You can get a virtual business address as a side note, just for security reasons. I would advise to do that. So then you open up a Stripe account, and then you link your Stripe to your business bank account, because what will happen is this: you're going to get a paid speaking opportunity. Amen. You're going to get this paid speaking opportunity, and the person's going to say, okay, how can I pay you? Zelle, whatever, right? And you're like, okay, yeah, sure, you can Zelle me. And so you want to make sure that if they do Zelle you, your phone number or whatever it is with Zelle is connected to your business bank account or your email. Because if your Zelle is connected to your personal, you can use your business email, which leads into the next thing. You need a website. But before I get into website, going back to the invoice with Stripe. So once you create a Stripe account, you can send invoices. So it just depends on the person. And I also will say this, dependent on that person's business structure is how they will pay you. So I've gotten paid in numerous ways, right? Good old check, right? You'll get a check, and then you can deposit that into your business bank account. Going back to what I said about taxes. So once tax season comes around, it's just easier for categoric reasons. When you consult with your accountant or whoever does your taxes, you can just show them your statement, even if it's 1 or 2 things. And you would be surprised, it's probably more than 1 or 2 things, but you wouldn't know that if it's all enmeshed with your personal finances. And I feel like when you have your business bank account, it does something to you mentally, because you're like, oh my gosh, I'm actually making money outside of the people's job, and it's going to empower you to figure out, how can I create more money, which is going to be the next video where I share my 7-8 streams of income. It's going to empower you. Do you hear me? So it just depends on the person's their structure of how they pay you. But in this example with Stripe, you can be like, okay, here's my invoice, $4,000, right? I'm going to send you my $4,000 invoice. They pay, and like with Stripe, there's so many different ways the person can pay. And then that goes directly into your business bank account within about 3 to 7 business days. So it's not instant, but you think about this with your corporate job. I get paid every 2 weeks from the people's job. So that money, it's already like whatever I'm trying to say, but what I'm getting at is it's a different way of getting paid, but this will empower you to be like, okay, how can I make money in different ways and just continually feed my business, right? Feed my business bank account. So the last tip, okay, good, this is about 10 minutes, which is what I wanted. The last tip is make sure you have a website. So when I was talking about the Stripe account, and then I was talking about Zelle, because sometimes people, it's dependent on how that person's business is set up that is paying you, they might be like, oh, can I just Zelle you? You don't pick people's pockets, but you say, of course, we take all forms of payment. Zelle, Cash App, Afterpay. Do you hear me? Okay, I'm figuring out how to do the Afterpay. But what I'm getting at is this. You want to make sure that email, this is no shade at all, y'all, but people will take you seriously when you have a domain that you own. So my domain is leslinepittman.com. That's mine. It's my name. It's my personal brand. I also have my business one that they're together, which is the Breath Between Wellness Collective. That's my DBA for Lesline Does Wellness LLC. Okay. Yeah. But what I'm getting at is you need to have a domain that you own. Having a domain is not expensive. It can be really cheap. What's really cool is that the longer you have your website, you could sell your website, guys. You can sell your website. It is digital real estate that you own. Do you hear me? And I'll never forget, a mentor told me this when I first started my business, like, people take you more seriously when it's Lesline at leslinepittman.com, right? It just feels safer, better versus Lesline at gmail.com, right? Like, that's just like, okay, like, you're not really taking it serious. And this even goes for my content creators that, you're small right now. Small is relative. And honestly, just a sidebar to that, the smaller content creators, hi at me, we are doing really well. I recently hit the $5,000, ooh, yes, the 5,000 mark of followers on Instagram, and my engagement is really good. I'm getting really good engagement as a small creator, and I'm noticing people with like larger accounts, their engagement is not as good. There's no comments, like those type of things. So really take advantage of where you are and don't minimize yourself. But at the same time, take yourself seriously. And if you are a content creator, you need a website. If that website be a blog, if that website just is a website that has your one pager of the work that you have done. And even if you're like, well, I haven't got any brand deals yet, you need to start creating content with the things you use in your house, right? This will be a separate video. Topicals. This is not paid in any way, but I would love to work with them. I can create a reel where I'm talking about how much I love topicals, or I can create a reel where I'm talking about an inspirational message that I heard, but I'm applying the lip gloss of topicals, and that is me showcasing that, one, I like the product, and then I can use that reel and put it on my one pager, so then brands can see that I'm serious, right? And I can throw that one pager on the website that I own. It is all about ownership. That's really the crux of it all, okay? So I'm going to close the video and just recap. The 3 things you need for your business is a business bank account, an invoice system. So Stripe is the one that I recommend, and then a website. Also with Stripe, I wrote this when it comes to the invoice system, going back to what I said with tracking, like, you need to see, and trust me, I don't like looking at numbers. I'm getting better. So when I'm sharing this with you, it's because I'm going through it. You don't want to look at your numbers because you're like, well, I'm not making six figures. My God, can we just throw that away, right? You're making money though. You're making money. So we have to figure out how to track it so we can grow it, right? And figure out, okay, how did I get the 4-figure yoga deal? Let me run that back, right? It was that time of year. Okay, what was happening that time of year? You strategize, right? Hire a business strategist. Hi, Marlene, right? You hire these people to help you like hone in. So, and then the third thing was the website. So make sure you like this video, comment, and subscribe. In the next video, we are going to be discussing what my 7 or 8 streams now. I got a few streams of income are. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.